So it's nearly Lent, and therefore it's time to be thinking about a different course that we can do. And Methodist way of life seems like a reasonable thing to be talking about at the moment.
Well, it's certainly something that's being pushed a lot. You know, it makes sense to try and recover the sense of what does it mean to be a Methodist at a time when we are unable to meet and sing together or whatever.
So much of our discipleship over the last, well, at least in my period of time in the Methodist Church, it's been about that Sunday morning activity. But there is something really important about how we try and encourage and develop discipleship, and especially in the middle of this sort of COVID pandemic, how we sort of find ways to see our whole life as being that journey of discipleship. So I'm really excited about what we might get from this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I noticed first about the Methodist way of life, and you look at the card, that it's got these questions about worship and learning and caring and service and evangelism, and they're great because they remind us of what we're supposed to be doing, but together they can feel like an incredible burden of like, so what is your pattern of prayer, and you know, how hard do you find it to pray? And I can imagine there's a whole load of people going, I just do not need someone kind of waving a big stick at me. So I think whilst they're great, we've got to find a way in which it becomes something that enables us and helps us explore. And so if we can learn from each other, if we can learn from the scriptures in a way that helps us develop patterns that are more healthy in terms of our discipleship, it's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? Really?
It does. Yes, the number of people who you sort of have these conversations with, and there's a near enough like a sort of rabbit caught in headlights kind of moment, because we all tend to think that these things are really complicated, or that actually, you know, we're just not good enough to be able to do them, and that's just not the gospel anyway. The whole thing is to be just those who are continuing to journey. So I have to agree that the questions that are on the card, so how is your prayer life? It's very black and white, literally, on the page, but hopefully in the way of us discussing and conversing with one another, it becomes more about the experience of faith that we have, and about the sort of experience of faith that we can find joy in with one another.
I think you're right. We can turn it from something that's black and white into something that's multicolored.
Yeah, vibrant.
You know, that as we discover that there are a multitude of ways in which we can pray daily, or that we can learn more about our faith, or practice hospitality and generosity. Yeah. I mean, you know, there are so many different ways in which Christians are doing this, and if we can learn from each other, those that find difficulty in one might find a new way of approaching it. And you know, we need to do something to help us build our faith, and I reckon that this won't make us saints overnight, I'm sure, but it will perhaps help us along the way.
Yeah. So the course is going to be a bit of a different way of doing things for us. I think it's going to be really exciting. Just that idea of different members of the circuit staff are going to be offering just that gentle reflection, just for a few minutes on the different aspects of those things we're looking to talk about. And then it's kind of left up to us to try and sort of engage in that conversation and see how the questions work. And I think that's really exciting.
I think it could be really good. I don't know what I will learn from this.
No.
It's not that I don't think I can. I know that I will. It's just that I have no idea just what will catch me, what idea will stimulate my thinking and my desire to follow Jesus more. I think this is really, it's got a lot of potential in it too. Yeah. Excite and
I hope so.
Stimulate. And
the sort of the three different ways that you can get involved. So there's the course will be running at 4:00 every Wednesday through Lent on Zoom. It'll be running at 8:00 every Wednesday on Zoom, and then there'll also be the opportunity to sort of jump into it in a more individual way. That's going to be available probably on Thursday mornings. This isn't a Methodist thing, but we do have particular precautions in place for Methodism, so if people are interested in joining the course, they just need to sign up. The way to sign up will be in the description below this video, and just get in touch with that and get your interest logged to join us on the 17th.
And of course, there's nothing wrong from people taking the material and doing it
in their own
small
way.
groups, or So I mean, really, just make of it what you can. Really.
Okay. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Catch you later.
Okay.